Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into our latest USA forecast. So we're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days across the United States. Day 10 will take us to around the 9th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that for the next 2 weeks as well with the extended GFS. I'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. We're going to begin in the tropical Atlantic. We've got a tropical storm in the Caribbean at the moment. It's going to move northwards, potentially impacting Florida and eastern coastal areas of the United States, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Just to say that if you're enjoying the USA forecast on the channel, please can you like, share and subscribe excuse me, and let us know in the comments what you think. Right, let's start off then, and we've got two areas of interest. We've got a disturbance area just here off the coast of Africa. So that is disturbance 1 with 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours and in the next 5 days. I'm going to move on from that very quickly because I don't think that's going to impact the United States for the foreseeable future. Then we have Tropical Storm Isaias just here. This is Tropical Storm Isaias just there. Currently giving maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,003 millibars, moving northwestwards at 20 miles per hour. So key messages with Isaias is that it is currently causing life-threatening flash flooding and mudslides across Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, northern Haiti, the Turks and Caicos, and also the Bahamas could be impacted as well. Heavy rain associated with Isaias could affect southern Florida Saturday morning, potentially bringing an isolated flash and urban flooding. Okay. Point number 3 is important for the United States. So there is a risk of impacts from winds, heavy rainfall and storm surge on portions of the US East Coast beginning this weekend in Florida and spreading northwards to Carolinas and southern mid-Atlantic states early next week due to Isaias interacting with Hispaniola. The details of the track and intensity forecast remain uncertain, and it is too soon to determine the magnitude and location of these potential impacts. Interest in these areas should monitor the progress of Isaias and updates to the forecast. Tropical storm or hurricane watches could be issued portions of southern Florida later today. Tropical storm or hurricane watches. Interesting wording. So at the moment, this is not being forecast to reach hurricane status. It's a tropical storm just there at the moment, moving up towards Florida over the weekend and then heading northwards into Carolinas and then up this eastern seaboard early next week. Always as a tropical storm while it's doing it, starting off a tropical storm now and still a tropical storm on Tuesday. No stage at the moment this being forecast to become a hurricane, but you notice the wording, they are certainly not ruling out the possibility that this could power up to hurricane status. So Isaias does need to be watched very closely and keep a very close eye on it. Even if it stays as a tropical storm, that's still going to produce tremendous amounts of rain and strong winds, of course, as well. So all eyes will be on Isaias in the coming days. This is from earthnullschool.net showing the trade winds through the tropical Atlantic, and let's just move into excuse me again, let's just move in towards the current position of Isaias, which is just here. That's the current position of Isaias. I'm going to move northwards, of course, up towards Florida over the coming days. That's from earthnullschool.net, of course. Right, let's see how the GFS is forecasting things then. This, again, current position of Isaias just here. Let's quickly move through and see where the GFS takes Isaias. So moves it up towards Florida as we get through towards the weekend. So just off the coast there, east coast of Florida, as we get through to Saturday, producing copious amounts of rain. in that part of America. Then moving northwards up towards the Carolinas from Sunday through to the early part of next week. That's the position of Isaias by the early part of next week. Looks like it's intensified a little bit by then. So maybe as it gets northwards of Florida up towards Carolinas, that's when this might go to a hurricane if it's going to. We'll have to wait and see, but looks pretty intense there off the east coast of Florida at that point. And then it carries on further northwards and starts to emerge or amalgamate with low pressures already in northeastern parts of the United States. So just here, the position of Isaias by Tuesday, moving up to the far northeastern part of America. Again, no doubt producing copious amounts of rain as it does so. It looks like there could be some sort of other disturbance area in the Atlantic, tropical Atlantic just there by Tuesday. And then the low pressure pushes up towards Newfoundland as we go beyond that. And yeah, so then it gets out of the way. But if we go back, we can see that we still have areas of low pressure around. So we've got one just there. This is the end of next week, Friday the 7th of August. Got one low just there, another one just here. So it does look as though things are getting more and more active in the tropical Atlantic over the next week or so, really. ECM Euro looks like this. So again, that's the position of Isaias just there at the moment. Let's move through. You'll see when Isaias moves up to Florida. There it is. Isaias moving up to Florida by Sunday, Saturday through to Sunday. These are done in 24-hourly periods, of course. And then pushing northwards up the east coast. So there is Isaias, for example, on Wednesday. A little bit slow moving up the east coast, but nevertheless, Euro does take Isaias up the eastern coast through the middle of next week. Again, producing copious amounts of rain up that eastern seaboard, and then moving out of the way, and then things begin to calm down after that in its wake. Not so much low pressure in the tropical Atlantic behind Isaias either, as with the Euro, as we see with the GFS. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Let's go regional Gloucester in Massachusetts in the far northeast of America. Today, red line is 30-year upper air temperature average for Gloucester, Massachusetts. We're starting off a little bit above average, and generally looks like the upper air temperature is going to stay a little bit above average, more or less from beginning to end. Not as hot as it has been, though. It's been a clear signal that August is not going to be as hot in the United States, northern east part of the states anyway, as this very hot July has been. So reasonably dry to start off with, but look at these precipitation spikes just here around the 5th through to the 7th of August. That is an area of low pressure, trough of low pressure, going to be sitting in the northeast, but will also amalgamate, will merge with Isaias probably through the middle of next week. And you get an idea of the kind of rainfall that can be expected for northeastern parts of the states from Isaias. So yeah, looks really wet through the course of next week. And then beyond that, generally rather showery. Showers and longer spells of rain moving into the middle part of August. And temperatures probably close to average or a little bit above, but nowhere near as hot as we've had it during July. This is how the GFS is looking for tomorrow across the United States. So this is a trough of low pressure we've already got in the east and the northeast. This is from the GFS, by the way. Trough of low pressure we've already got in the east and the northeast, bringing those slightly cooler temperatures. Otherwise, it's from the south and particularly from the west. It is still a hot scene across many parts of the state. Says the upper air temperature. See, they have just cooled down a little bit. See how they've just cooled down a little bit in the north and the northeast, but still looking very hot through the south, and particularly through these western states as well. Really hot through there. During the weekend, well, this is Isaias just here off the coast of Florida at on Saturday night into Sunday. That low pressure just there. Notice again a trough of low pressure in the northeast, bringing cooler temperatures, but also no doubt some heavy outbreaks of rain as well. Through to Tuesday, Isaias moving up the eastern coast as a trough of low pressure amalgamating with this trough that we already have in the east and in the northeast. Okay, so as we move beyond that into of Tuesday and then on into Wednesday and Thursday, we see that eventually start to get rid of those areas of low pressure in the northeast, start to get this ridge building, but that will be within cooler air up in the northeast. So it definitely looks like a cooler week coming up next week for much of the north and northeast. Meanwhile, out in west, it still remains very, very hot for you there, especially in the southwestern states of America. Upper air temperatures look like that, really hot for your western side, a little bit cooler than we've had, particularly through July in the northeast too. Heading towards the end of next week, so we've got some sort of area of low pressure developing here close to the eastern seaboard. And again, just the same idea, that the far north and northeast looks cooler. Winds are coming out of Canada, so it's cooler up there. Southern states and up the western side looking generally very hot. Upper air temperatures look like that. So even in the northeast, it is beginning to warm up a little bit actually as we move up towards day 10. But generally, the hottest weather is in the south and also in the west as well. Moving into extended range with the GFS, so cooler in the northeast. Again, troughs of low pressure coming and going, pushing down from Canada, bringing cooler temperatures, but also some spells of rain at times as well. Meanwhile, southern western states generally looking pretty hot. That's how we look with the upper air temperatures as we get to the end of this GFS run. So the idea is still there. This is the 15th of August, still there, that the northeast and northeast of Great Lakes over towards the northeastern coast, it's cooler there. Still very warm because it's a continental landmass, so it'll still be very warm, but cooler than you have had through this very hot July. Cooler in the northwest as well. That's very typical. Winds coming off the Pacific Ocean. Very hot through the rest of these western states, though, for the middle part of August. The ECM looks like that, so again, cooler shower conditions in the northeast at the moment. Then we've got, of course, we've got Isaias coming in towards Florida as you go through to the weekend. There's the area of low pressures there. But you're a little bit slow bringing Isaias to Florida compared to GFS, I think. Moving in a slightly different direction as well, just sort of sticking it over Florida through to the early part of next week. So obviously that brings copious amounts of rain to Florida, but probably not moving up the east coast quite as quick as GFS is doing. Further northeast, low pressure just here. That's been cooler air out of Canada, and also showers or longer spells, rain, probably thunderstorms involved as well in this northeast corner. Meanwhile, out in the west, we've still got these very hot southerly winds, of course, across those western states. There's the upper air temperature. So you see how much cooler the upper air temperatures are, particularly the Midwest, going up towards northern parts of the United States and in towards Canada as well. The east coast, you can see does look relatively hot with the ECM, and very hot, of course, still out across those western states, as you would expect in the middle of summer. Through to the middle part of next week, I should say, that trough of low pressure gradually moves up the east side. Just a general trough of low pressure there in the northeast, bringing heavy showers or longer spells of rain, thunderstorms too, and cooler temperatures, very hot in the west. There's the upper air temperature, particularly in the Midwest. We've got these cooler upper air temperatures digging in from Canada. Very hot in the west and pretty warm up the eastern seaboard still as well. And then we move on towards day 10 with the Euro. That's how we look. This broad pattern continues really. So the northeast looks cooler with showers, longer spells of rain, particularly around the Great Lakes and up towards Canada. Out in the west, it looks very hot. Across the southern states, looking pretty hot too. There's the upper air temperatures for day 10, possibly just beginning to warm up a little bit in the north. But even then, I think the upper air temperatures are a little bit on the low side, really, for the time of the year. CFS-V2 finally, so these are 500 millibar heights broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 30th of July to 5th of August. Coming week has this ridge up towards Canada, but a trough of low pressure underneath it. That's been cooler air from the north, particularly through the Midwest, but also to some of those eastern states. Week 2 looks like this. It's the 6th to the 12th of August. High pressure up towards the northeast, low pressure digging in from the northwest. Again, I think we're probably looking at quite a coolish week there, particularly through those mid-western states. The far northeast could be a little bit warmer, close to that ridge of high pressure. Week 3 is the 13th to the 19th of August. High pressure in the extreme northeast. Otherwise, job to work out what is going on, but I suspect again projection is probably coming south was a cooler week, particularly for northern states, and that goes on into week 4 as well, which is the 20th, 26th of August. High pressure up towards there and up towards Canada. Probably a trough of low pressure through here. Let's have a look at temperature anomaly. So look how cool it is with temperature anomaly in the week ahead. This from the 30th of July to 5th of August. Very cool through the Midwest, and also extending up towards the northeast as well. The East Coast itself is a little bit hotter, and out in the West Coast does look really warm through there. Same ideas really for week 2, the 6th to the 12th of August. Hot in the West, much cooler through the Midwest in particular. The far east and northeast is a little bit warmer there for week 2, 6th to the 12th of August. Week 3, generally quite low temperature for most parts of America. It's the 13th to the 19th of August, significantly cooler through there. Hotter through the west coast, the far northeast, a little bit hotter as well. But most parts of the states looking cooler with this August compared to this very hot July that we have had. And then week 4, the 20th to 26th of August, it's going to be very warm in the northeast by the look of it, and off the east coast. But otherwise, again, particularly from the Midwest to the east coast, it's generally looking pretty cool, really, through most parts of America. Rainfall anomalies finally, week 1. 30th of July to 5th of August. Wet through those states just there, going further northwards, dry just there. You can see the track of Isaias, so look how wet it is through here, and then going up the eastern side as well. So this is kind of like going to be how the CFS is forecasting Isaias to progress, something like that. Week 2 is the 6th to the 12th of August, drier than average rain down in the southeast, drier up to the far northeast, wetter through the Midwest, and then going on to the western side of America, it does get drier through there as well. Week 3 is going to be the 13th to the 19th of August. Then going wetter again in the east and the southeast. Could that be more tropical developments that the CFS is picking up on? Possibly. Otherwise, we're beginning to lose signal a little bit across those western states and in the north. And then week 4 is the 20th, 26th of August. Again, looking rather wet down here, possibly through the Gulf of Mexico as well. That could all be tropical related, of course. Dry up towards the northeast. It's still looking a bit mixed really through the Midwest as well. So, of course, in the immediate time frame, all eyes will be on Isaias to see what's going to happen with this. At the moment, forecast to be a tropical storm as it gets to Florida and then runs up the eastern coast, affecting the Carolinas, then the Midwestern states, then on up towards the northeast potentially. But the National Hurricane Center are not ruling out the chance that this could go up to hurricane status. Definitely not. So we need to keep a close eye on Isaias. For the rest of America, it looks like generally this August, has been saying in these videos over the past couple of weeks or last week, it looks like generally August is going to be a cooler month for many northern and central, midwestern, northern, eastern states compared to the very hot July that we have had. So yeah, a little bit of a later summer cool down really during August compared to July. But it will still be very warm, of course, because it's America in the middle of summer. So it's still going to be very warm during August, but not quite as intensely hot as we've had it during this July. And of course, the tropical Atlantic continues to ramp up, and that will be the focus over the coming weeks and next 2 or 3 months as well. Okay, so the next USA forecast will be on Monday. If you enjoyed this video, then please like the video. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when we're releasing these videos on a Monday and on a Thursday too. And yeah, that's all for now, though, and thanks for watching.